My name is Jacob Snyder, and I'm going to be doing my artifact presentation on the lobotomy. So, we're going to go over what the lobotomy is and also how this procedure became so widespread and accepted among the public. Um, so to start off, we're going to be centering on the transorbital lobotomy. This was a roughly 10-minute procedure that occurred mostly within the late 1940s and early 50s. Estimates show that around 40 to 50,000 of these procedures were performed during this time period. And what this procedure consists of is two tools, very simple actually. We have a pick-like tool, which is actually inserted right above the eye in the corner here. And then they use a hammer to bash it right through your skull and into your prefrontal cortex in your brain. Once this pick is actually in your brain, they actually move it around to sever connections within this part of your brain. And the desired outcome of this procedure was to simply cure a wide range of mental illnesses. So, how could a procedure that seems so barbaric to us currently become so popular and accepted among the public? So, we have one, a great misunderstanding of mental illness for this time period. Two, we also have a misuse of credibility by medical professionals. And we also have these lobotomy campaigns which further fueled a misinformed public. So these lobotomy campaigns were a lot of these before and after pictures of individuals who went through this procedure. And the common theme among this is a very distraught, not well-looking, not put together individual before this procedure, and after we have done hair and makeup, we have a smile, we have a productive citizen who looks happy. And this is a pure example of pure persuasion. We have this connection of, oh my God, this is a very undesirable individual, and because they went through this procedure, they now look desirable. They now look healthy and more happy and more productive. And this is a pure example of persuasion. And not only does persuasion of those campaigns go into play here, but we also have credibility. And credibility mostly among these medical professionals who had the expertise, trustworthiness, and goodwill of their patients. And these medical professionals misled the public and their patients to believe that this procedure was a actual effective means of treating mental illness. And as we know, it is definitely not. In fact, 500 individuals died from this procedure alone, and about 1/3 of these participants in this procedure, among this procedure, were so mentally and physically disabled that they cannot function on their own, they cannot speak, talk, walk, feed themselves. But medical professionals still turn that around to say, well, these people are easier to care for, easier to treat, easier to live with when they're this, disabled, rather when they were mentally distraught, having manic episodes, having schizophrenia. And on top of this, we also have a high indication of gender bias and gender discrimination within this procedure. In fact, 80% of the procedures performed in America were among women. So there is a few different connections here as to how this procedure became so popular and actually how it became so unethical as well. So piggybacking off of this, we're going to look at some discussion questions here, see what you guys think. So first one is, if you were suffering from a dilapidating mental condition and you were told by a trusted medical professional that it could be cured through a simple 10-minute procedure, would you do it? And we kind of have to disregard what we just talked about this procedure and how barbaric it was to actually think about this. But if you're going to a doctor that you trusted and they said that these manic episodes that you're having could be cured through a simple 10-minute procedure, would you go through with it? In most cases, as we saw and as we know, thousands of people did. And not only this, but we also have those before and after pictures. And I also want to know, did those persuade you to think that this procedure had positive outcomes? We know on top of the before and after pictures and this misuse of credibility, a lot of people put themselves and their loved ones through this procedure. And piggybacking off of this credibility, have you ever been, just in general, been misled by someone's established credibility, whether it be a medical professional, your parents, a professor, teacher, anybody you really looked up to or had credibility and trustworthiness in? So I look forward to hearing your responses to these discussion questions and also the presentation and topic as a whole. And I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.